Hello, in this video we are going to be talking about circles and how to find the center and radius and graph them when they are in standard form. So the equation of a circle is here. It says x minus h, that whole quantity squared, plus y minus k, that quantity squared, equals the radius squared, where h and k are the center of the circle and r is the radius. This is called the standard form of an equation of a circle. So it looks similar to that of this vertex form of a parabola, right? The parabola, we can say y equals that quantity x minus h squared plus k. Sorry, an a in front. So we see that same x minus h squared, so that gives us the u shape of a parabola. But now we're also squaring the y. So we have y minus k squared. So that completes the u shape and is giving us a circle. So when I look at this first equation, it says find the center and radius of the equation x squared plus y squared equals 9, then graph. Well, there is no h and there's no k. It's just x squared and y squared. That means that the center of this graph is at the origin, 0, 0. There's no shifting. So simply x squared, y squared, no shifting left or right. That's the center. And that equals 9 squared, which is supposed to be r squared, right? So r is not 9. R squared equals 9. That means if I take the square root of both sides, r should be 3. Technically plus and minus, but since we're talking about a distance, it's going to be the positive solution because we don't have negative distances. So now that I have the center and I have the radius, I can graph it. So the center's here and the radius moves out 3. So 1, 2, 3 units right. I can also move 3 units up. I could move 3 units left and 3 units down. So from the center, I can go right, up, left, and down. The radius will be 3, so no matter where on the circle, it should be 3 units away, but the easiest are just up, down, left, and right. Now we can connect those dots and make our circle. So again, free hands, not going to be amazing. Going to do my best here, but you get the idea. So there's our circle. What if the center's not at the origin? So let's look at this equation down below. It says find the center and radius of the equation x plus 7 squared plus y squared equals 6. Alright, so this has a shift in here. And just like with the parabola, we're going to take the opposite sign of what's in here because it says x minus h. And this isn't a minus, so we would have to add in a minus to make that plus. Essentially, h is going to be the opposite sign of whatever's in here, or you could think of it as what would make this add up to 0, and that would be negative 7. So my center will be at negative 7 for the x, and then we look at the y, and we see it's not shifting at all. So still 0 for the y. As far as the radius, we can see from this last problem that it's always going to be the square root of whatever that r value or that r squared value is, right? We had to take the square root to figure out what r is, so we'll have to take the square root of 6, and the radius would just be the square root of 6. Since it's not a perfect square, I can't actually take the square root and get a nice number. You might be asked to round this to the nearest 10th or 100th of some kind, or if you were graphing, you would want to round that so that you could figure out how far away to graph that value. Again, the y value here didn't have anything, but if it did, it would be just like the x where you take the opposite sign to find the y value of the center. Why don't you go ahead and try this example on the right and see how you do. Alright, find the center and radius of the equation x minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 4, and then graph. So this is in our standard form. We want to find the center first. The center is going to be the opposite sign of what's in with the x and the opposite sign of what's in with the y. So for the x value, I'm going to say positive 3, right? And for the y value of that coordinate, it'll be negative 2. So again, taking the opposite sign. This is negative 3. My center will be at positive 3. This is positive 2. My center will be at negative 2. So the center is at 3, negative 2. And my radius will be the square root of 4, which is 2. So let's find our center. I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, down 2. There's our center. And I'm going to move out 2 units in each direction to plot some points on my circle. So up 2, right 2, left 2, and down 2. And now I connect those dots to make my circle. Not my best circle, but there you go. So that's how you graph. If it's in standard form, you identify the center, the radius, plot the center, and then move out however many units left, right, up, and down for the points on the circle using the radius, and connect those dots. And now you have a circle.